right, everyone. Hello there. Welcome back to episode number 47 of Winning the Division. I am your host, Ryan Smith. Alongside me, my co-host, partner in crime, Ben Troupe, former NFL tight end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Oakland Raiders, and the Tennessee Titans, where he was drafted, and also played for the University of Florida Gators.
Say it.
The Gators, yes, sir. Home of the Florida Gators. Ben, let's start out here with first things first. But before we do that, you know I have to remind you about our partners over at 1-800-Flowers. From a colorful summer flower arrangement, bouquets, summer wreaths to blossoming summer plants. Fun summer gifts for everyone. You can trust us at 1-800-Flowers. Get the code 299-6996. And also our as I stumble through this, just through the end of June is National Rose Month. Celebrate that special someone with weekly deals on stunning roses and dazzling array of colors and varieties. Get it through the end of the month. Add code 301-2631. And as a reminder, you can find us on the Keep Pounding Podcast Network, the Fans First Sports Network, Tobacco Road Sports Radio.com on our YouTube channel as well for the YouTube version of this podcast. Because on Keep Pounding, it brings you the latest news, analysis, and interviews from top players, announcers, studio leads, and more. Rate, review, and subscribe. YouTube.com/Tobacco Radio, at Keep Pounding Podcast Network, at Fans First Sports Network. Ben, let's get into first things first, and we'll get into some contract stuff in a little bit. But let's start with first things first, as we always do. And I want to start specifically with so we talked a little bit about Jim Irsay, and he's going to be getting into the Ring of Honor come week one. His daughter came out today and essentially talked about her hands-on approach, saying, I would suggest it for anyone who was having to pay a coach millions of dollars. So when you hear a new owner in a place like Indianapolis who comes in and essentially says, I've been in the majority of the meetings since I've been here. I'm very hands-on. But then she says, you got to know what's going on. And for her, she said she's on the sidelines with those headphones on during the games. She said she believes that's the best way for her to really understand what is happening and what is not happening in every possible way. So she wants to be able to be very detail oriented in her approach as the new owner of the Indianapolis Colts. So thoughts on kind of her stance as this new ownership, and she kind of taking her own stamp here as this transition now is officially kind of taken off now as we get into training camp.
I respect what she's trying to do. I do think though, Smitty, she sometimes when it's the owner, right, you can't really tell her no.
Right.
I mean, that's what she wants to do. But have you ever seen an owner with headsets on? No. Have I ever heard of an owner with headsets on? No. Here's the thing, right? When she goes back to what her dad did, may he rest in peace. Did he have headsets on? No. Did he understand what was going on? Yes and no. Meaning, if I'm the owner, the football team is one thing. The coaches are another thing. I'm in charge for the entire organization. And I get what's the most exciting is the product on the field. If she's never took an interest in understanding what goes on in football, as far as like the X and O's with the offensive, defensive, special teams, O coordinator, D coordinator, especially coordinator, quarterback, receivers, etc., it's not gonna just happen now, because the nuance and, dare I say, complexity of the National Football League, for people who don't know, it is through the roof. It really, I mean, the players have a hard enough time trying to keep up with the play calls, executing the plays. But here's the thing. I think it was one of those things, Smitty, that she presented the idea. They said, okay, you give her a headset. Here's the thing about the headset. I hope that she's muted. She should not get to talk, because that's going to mess up the flow. It's almost like having a pit crew in NASCAR. A lot of people got headsets on. I think only, the chief, or whatever you call him, your pit crew master, I don't know what you call him, he or she is the only one should be able to talk to the driver. I'm just saying, you're trying to invent things that have never happened. Has the owner ever been on the sideline? I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones has been on the sideline. If Jerry Jones, even he, don't get no headset, and that's probably a good thing too, Smitty, if we're thinking about it. You don't need him no headset.
Right.
I just think for her, I respect her trying to fully ingratiate herself into this organization, saying, look, I'm gonna do all I can to make sure this team gets back to its winning ways. I'm gonna do all I can to make sure I understand. But Smitty, I'm gonna throw it to you. That soccer league, the soccer tournament you just announced. If you're over the league, you're gonna know so much to where you go, I don't really want to know nothing else. Like, you're gonna have a lot of information.
Correct.
From coaches and players and free agents and who's hurt and who's not hurt, who's on the injury. I don't think, let me say this, I don't think she fully understands how much information she's gonna have. Yeah. By the time she gets to the field, it's gonna be like overhaul at that point. But if that's what she wants to do, man, I salute it, I respect it. I just think that if someone's going to introduce something to the league that's never happened before, it's not going to happen in Indy, because I get she's trying to show them, look, I'm not my dad. I understand what he did and how he did it and what he brought to Indy, but I want to do it my way. And hey, I mean, she gets a shot. She gets a chance to do it. But like I said, being an owner means I get to do what I want to a certain extent. Like you Correct. Do, but at the same time, you don't get what they say. You can do anything you want. You can't do everything.
Correct.
You want. So we'll see what happens with it though. And I think too, with it being the time for mini camps, and we're rapidly approaching training camp, Smitty. Why this is the best time to test it out? Because I guarantee this: when the games are for real, she gonna be up in that owner's booth. I'm telling you, when the games are for real, and that's just from a reputation, image type thing. Because the last thing they can ill afford for her to do, even if she don't know it, they have to protect her from herself. Young lady, we don't want it to look like we're a gimmick. You don't want to be on the sideline with a headset. For what? You don't look. Are you going to be in the offensive meeting rooms? Nope. Are you going to be in the defensive meeting rooms? No. Are you going to be in the individual meeting rooms? Nope. So you don't even know what they're saying. For those who listen. For those who don't understand what I mean when I say you don't understand what they're saying, I mean when I played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they go, "Hey man, give me Tiger, give me Tiger, give me Tiger." Tiger, that's the personnel. And then John Gruden say, "Listen, give me U-zip, give me U-zip." Give me U-zip, the Tiger right tight, halfback, slow screen, left check, H2 slick on the rocker. That is 2 plays I just called. Give me U-zip. Give me U-zip, the twins right tight, halfback, slow screen, left check, H2 slick on the rocker. If she just heard that, she's like, you the what? So I want to see her attempt it. I'm rooting for her, by the way. I'm not rooting for her. I just think that sometimes, Smitty, when we become owners of something, we're so excited that, hey man, let me show everybody that I'm really, look, they're gonna protect it. They're gonna reel her in, but they'll get it. You try a lot of things out in the preseason, by the way, that you don't do in the regular season. A lot of
Correct.
things.
Correct.
But yeah, they go, because the last thing they want to do, Smitty, is make her feel like she ain't the owner. To make her feel like what she wants to do is ridiculous, or to make her feel like what she wants to do doesn't make any sense. No, let her try to do it. And if it works, it works. But I'm telling you, week 1 of the regular season, she is going to be in the owner's booth. I'm just telling y'all, she's going to be up there with them owners sit. And if they want to give her a headset up there or something, which will still be a little weird, hey, man, but right now, all is well. The games ain't count. It's going to be all about, it's going to be all about, Daniels and, not Daniels. What's the quarterback from the Giants? It's slipping my name right now. Now he's with the Colts.
Oh, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. But right now, Miss Irsay and your 2 sisters have at it, and we'll see what happens. But I am rooting for them.
Let's go to the New Orleans Saints. They have a crowded running back room already, and they add another name, former Ram, former Viking, Cam Akers, to a one-year deal after a mini camp tryout. He joins Alvin Kamara, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, former Chief,
Wow.
Kendre Miller, and sixth-round rookie Devin Neal from Kansas.
That's going to be great competition. I do think Alvin Kamara, obviously, the elder statesman, is going to he's going to obviously be penciled in to be the starter. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, no longer a Chief over there with the Saints. Got the sixth-round rookie. Cam Akers is a guy that's very, very interesting. Former second-round pick out of Florida State. Cam Akers is talented enough to be a starter in the National Football League, but I think at this current point of his career, he just wants to add depth, just like a Nick Chubb being signed to a Houston Texans. You want to add depth. He's definitely going to add that. But New Orleans, I don't know what they're going to do on offense besides run the football, because I definitely don't know how dangerous or interesting that passing game is going to be.
Yeah.
But, hey, man, congratulations to Cam Akers. He get to go into camp and try to win the job. But like I said, I think Alvin Kamara is definitely going to be the starter. I don't know if Cam Akers plays special teams. If he doesn't, he's going to have to be penciled in as the second string guy. But I say Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a former first-round draft pick out of LSU, that 2019 LSU team, by the way. I'm just happy to see guys land on teams to give them another opportunity to play football. Problem is, this is Tank for Manning? That will be Arch Manning, by the way. Yep. But hey, congratulations, Cam Akers. He got an opportunity to try to go make another team in the NFC South.
Let's go to the Dallas Cowboys. Dak said he wants to win a Super Bowl title. I think most quarterbacks do. But then he goes on to say, legacy be damned. He said, I want a championship. The legacy, things that come afterwards, playing will take care of itself. But be damned if it's just for my legacy or for this team, for my personal being, for my sanity. I have to stay where my feet are. Prescott currently has a 2-5 playoff record.
I appreciate his honesty. I appreciate the fact that he's being open about it. Dak Prescott, I think, is about to be 32 years old. Dak Prescott is the reason why Tony Romo is in the booth. Dak Prescott has been in 7 playoff games. He's won 2 of them. It's been very lackluster, to say the least, the last time he's been. I think he's been 12-4 back when we had 16 games. I think he's been like 12-4 twice in his career. Dak Prescott said he wants to win the Super Bowl. I know he's talking about winning the Super Bowl for Dallas. It ain't happening. It's not happening for a lot of reasons. I think Dak Prescott is a really, really good quarterback. I think Dak Prescott gives Dallas the best shot to win games, the best shot to win games consistently. You're not beating the Eagles. You're not beating the Rams. I don't think you're beating Green Bay. You're definitely not beating the Lions, and you're not beating San Francisco. I think right now, Dak Prescott is realizing that what DeMarcus Lawrence, D-Law, said when he went to Seattle, while I was crying over spilled milk because he's moved on, D-Law said I was there for 10 years. You're not winning a championship. Dallas has so many things about that team, from the ownership to the head coach to the quarterback to the defense. It's just so many factors as to why they're not winning and why they're not going to win. I appreciate Dak saying what he's saying, but if Dak Prescott, in my opinion, is ever going to win a Super Bowl as a starter, it won't be for the Dallas Cowboys, and that's not his fault. That's more or less the culture or lack thereof in Dallas. Let me take that a step. Yeah,
let me take that a step further. I mean, Jerry has already come out and said, if I'm going to overpay for somebody, he essentially saying he overpaid. I'm going to do it for Dak Prescott. So you feel like Jerry is putting all his chips in the middle if this were poker, with Dak Prescott. I mean, it's like Jerry, we all know this is not a secret. It's like he's thinking with his heart instead of his head. But what is your thoughts on just, I think you're right, because I think if he does win a Super Bowl, it will not be with the Dallas Cowboys unless something changes dramatically. But with Jerry, it's not going to change, and unfortunately, till Jerry's no longer with us.
Jerry Jones' legacy is not current. Jerry Jones and everybody that loves Jerry Jones is always talking about them 90s teams. Right. What Tony Romo did and Now, are they the biggest brand? Maybe in sports, maybe.
Yes.
I mean, somebody can say that the Dallas Cowboys might be the biggest brand in sports, but that's it. Like outside of everybody on podcasts, the sports networks, the major networks, they talk about the Dallas Cowboys because that's how big the brand is. But Smitty, some of these players were barely out the womb when the last time they won. And Scatterbooty running back, I'm gonna show you. Scatterbooty running back from Arizona State. I can't remember what team he went to. They were showing him pictures of former great players. They showed him a picture of Calvin Johnson. He was like, dang, I don't know who that is. Dang. And mind you, I think, and I say that to say that about the Cowboys is their greatest players outside of the Cowboys, most people would know them. They'll go, who's Troy Aikman? You talking about the guy that announced game with Joe Buck? No, he won a Super Bowl. Wait, what? Or Michael Irvin. You talking about the guy that be really, really loud? I always talk about the Cowboys and the Hurricanes. No. He played for the Cowboys. Emmitt Smith, the guy that saying he started hearing flags. It's like, it's been so long ago. Back when the Cowboys were winning the Super Bowls, it was VHS. It wasn't even CDs yet. And I think for a Dak Prescott is saying, I want to bring something to Jerry, to the Cowboys nation, to my team that's going to cement, because what he's really saying is my legacy is not going to be that much greater or less than Tony Romo if I don't win anything. It's not gonna mean much. It's really not, because it's a passing league now, Smitty. So those passing numbers are gonna be kind of inflated because of how much they throw the football now. Winning over 500 records is great. Mike Tomlin, congratulations. It's like you're gonna have certain things, and people are gonna say, "But what did you win?" Because when you had Zeke, didn't do it. When you had Dez Bryant, even though he was at the end of his career, didn't do it. When you had Jason Witten, didn't do it. Jason Witten did it with him and Tony Romo. I think when I think about Dallas and I think about Dak, I think about so much perception, no reality. It's all perception now when you talk about Dallas. Dallas Cowboys fans are the most naive and just, hard. You're talking about hard to deal with. God, a Dallas Cowboy fan, they talk so much. Because they were alive to see, them win 3. I get it. But I'm like, what about now? We'll wait till next year. Based off of what? You watched Jaden Daniels have the best rookie season we've ever seen in that division. You watched Eli Manning win 2 Super Bowls against Tom Brady and company. You've seen Jalen Hurts go to 2 Super Bowls, win 1, lose 1. You've seen Nick Foles win a freaking Super Bowl, and y'all can't even make it out the first round. So I don't know. Let me say Dak has to say that, but when the cameras go off, he goes, "Was that good? Did that sound convincing? Did it sound convincing when I said okay?" Appreciate it. Because I don't know how many. Because like I said, think about what has happened since the last time the Dallas. We've had I don't know, expansion teams like, I don't know. The freaking Carolina Panthers have been to 2 Super Bowls. 2! Since I don't know. I don't know what. I know Dak hopes to have that, but so many things will have to happen, Smitty. I just think that, and we hope it doesn't happen that way. Jerry Jones is either gonna have to move on from the Cowboys, because I ain't never seen that level of vanity in my life. I ain't never seen that. I say, dude, it's like that's the highest level of ego it is. Hire a freaking GM, because his son is the president. He don't really get to do nothing.
Right.
And because I don't get it. You get the credit if they win. I want all the credit. Okay. Well, why you want all the credit? What you lacking is a Hall of Fame coach. And guess what? You ain't going to get one. Brian Schottenheimer. Maybe he knows something I don't. He is a former Florida Gator, so, I can root for him for that.
Yeah, from that
I you would think at a certain point, Smitty, if it hasn't been working for what? Almost 30 years now? Next year will be 30 years since they've been to. Hey, man, like I said, being stubborn doesn't work in sports. It doesn't work in life. Being hard-headed, bull-headed doesn't work in sports. Doesn't work in life. But maybe Jerry Jones knows this. As long as they talking about me, he making money, which he is. I think they're the highest. I think they're worth the most out of all franchises in America. Hey, but Dak, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you fighting what you're saying, but y'all ain't even got no window. Forget the window closing. No, y'all ain't got a nothing, a door, a foot in the door. No, but I do appreciate his fight, his fight. I can appreciate that.
All right, we're gonna wrap up with these last two. Missouri governor signs a deal to keep kind of a legislation, if you will, for the Royals and the Chiefs stadium aid package approved by Missouri lawmakers, officially including hundreds of $millions of financial aid to persuade the Chiefs and the Royals to remain in Missouri. They currently play in the Truman Sports Complex, east side of Kansas City, Missouri, where both Arrowhead Stadium and Kauffman Stadium share parking facilities. But the lease with Missouri expires in January 2031, and the franchises are trying to decide the best route forward over the past several years. So essentially, some people want to have them go into the state of Kansas. Some people want them to stay in Missouri. And the Royals have said we would build a new stadium and take out Kauffman Stadium. And the Chiefs have said we are going to get $1.1 billion in renovations to Arrowhead Stadium. So thoughts on the Missouri governor and the stadium aid package for the Chiefs and Royals?
Okay, you were kind of going in and out a little bit.
Sorry. Yep. So essentially, I was saying the stadium aid package for the Chiefs and the Royals. Did you have any thought on that?
They're trying to keep them where they at
in the state of Missouri, and some people want to go to Kansas City, to the state of Kansas specifically. The lease runs out in 2031, so in about 6 years from now. But the governor of Missouri signed a stadium aid package specifically for the Chiefs and the Royals.
Just to stay in Missouri.
To persuade them to stay in Missouri. It's hundreds of millions.
And I'm guessing like the difference in miles is like less than like 10 miles. It's nothing crazy, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I get it. And think about this. Kansas City Chiefs, it's pretty smart, right? Like the only people that really know they're in Missouri is people from Missouri. I mean, if you are Kansas City, Kansas, you get to still rep them. I get it. It's like the Carolina Panthers. Brilliant. It's brilliant. I get to encompass both. But I wonder if this is more just like the governor of Kansas saying, hey, man, I just want to be – that's what it really is, though, Smitty. If you are the governor of Kansas, even though you ain't got nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes, you have nothing to do with his winning or Travis Kelce or Chris Jones or, Andy Reid, that's like a little flex for him. Yeah, man, when I was governor, we had Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, okay. But if the governor is going that far to keep the Kansas City Chiefs and Royals, shout out to that boy Jack Caglione, Cags, doing this thing, for them Royals. We'll see what happens. It's not. It doesn't seem like the state of Kansas.
Let me read this a little bit more. Slow movement by those on the Missouri side is supporting franchises prompted lawmakers in Kansas to authorize bonds for up to 70% of the cost of new stadiums in their state. The Royals bought a mortgage for property in Kansas, but the team is pursuing other sites in Missouri. The offer from Kansas is scheduled to expire June 30th, and both teams have indicated that they will hope to have a plan formulated by then. If they choose to stay in Missouri, Chiefs have floated plans for a $1.15 billion renovation of Arrowhead Stadium, and Missouri's legislation authorizes bonds covering up to 50% of the cost of new or renovated stadiums. Anyway, there's a lot of jargon in here, but essentially, the state of Kansas has an offer that expires at the end of the month, and the Missouri governor is essentially putting this bill on the table to try to persuade them to stay in the state of Missouri.
Well, the governor of Missouri knows. Hey, man, if I want to get reelected, this is going to be a big part of my legacy. I mean, even though, obviously he's a big sports fan, he's going to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and that's the thing, Troupe. Every time, and I was going to say it's got to have something there about a new stadium. The Titans got a stadium going up, the Jags got a stadium going up, the if I'm not mistaken, the Commanders got a stadium going up. So the Kansas City Chiefs got to have something, and that's the thing, right? If Kansas City, Kansas wanted to have any bidding, they had to be able to get those taxpayers to know y'all gonna have to go 50% on this new stadium, okay? And we got to get a site, okay? And we got to make sure that the governor is in on it. But I mean, like I said, I don't know about the Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, because the average person, if you ask them, they'll be like, they're in Kansas, right? Like, no. Oh, they're in Missouri. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this is going to end up probably going the governor's way in Missouri. It's going to be an easy sell. Kansas, Arrowhead. And I played in Arrowhead. I actually played there when the freaking field was frozen. They had they had 100-foot, where they had like 20-something foot, 120-something foot long, 50-something foot wide, essentially like heated blanket over the whole field to try to let it helped a little bit to try to like thaw the field out. But like I said, this should be an easy sell for the governor, in the home of the Chiefs, to where they will literally announce their whole team. They'll announce the tight ends and the quarterbacks instead of just Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. But yeah, this is gonna be an easy sell. And congratulations to the Kansas City, Missouri, and I guess for the Royals as well, because the Royals will be a package deal too. So shout out to them Chiefs and the Royals for staying in the state of Missouri. Show me.
And then last one, we're going to go to the Cincinnati Bengals, and we're about to get into a little bit more. But Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals resume talks on a contract for the first time in several months. The sides have resumed communication on his contract and future with the team. That was ESPN's Jeremy Fowler saying this news.
This is weird, and I know we're gonna get to Shamar Stewart, but Smitty, something ain't clicking, right? I mean, we okay. Let's say this: we've seen Trey Hendrickson sort of the last 2 years, unless you're an avid Bengals fan.
And I'll just say it for those who may be living under a rock, did not participate in any of the team's offensive season workouts, including last week's mandatory minicamp. And by missing minicamp, he was fined of $105,000 currently in fines.
But, I mean, Smitty, I mean, once again, you look at, okay, the salary cap has gone up, which means more money available. You've seen players getting, you've seen the George Kittles, you've seen the, the Fred Warners, obviously the quarterbacks, Brock Purdy's of the world. They don't really count because they're quarterbacks. They're going to reshape the market. I cannot remember a time that a player either had double-digit sacks going into a contract year, a first-time Pro Bowler going into a contract year as a pass rusher, or leading the league in sacks. I've never seen a player lead the league in sacks 2 years in a row, be a first-team All-Pro in 2023, 2024, to not have a deal done after 2023, to then not have a deal done in 2024, to then have a deal stalled in 2025. Now, does the Myles Garrett situation help? Nope, because Cincinnati's like, dude, why would they go and give him that? I'm just going to keep saying this, Smitty. I know what the numbers say, and I know what the production says. Is Trey Hendrickson just not that good? Like, I get what he's done. I am not taking away 35 sacks in 2 years. It's out of this world crazy. But Sam Hubbard retires.
Mm-hmm.
Your leading tackler from a year ago, you release.
Jermaine Pratt.
Your first-round pick refuses to sign a contract. You re-sign you know, the two of the three amigos, that being T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, rightfully so. And the only recognizable player on your defense, you don't want to give the money. Trey Hendrickson is the only player that the average person may even identify with. Smitty, what is it about Trey Hendrickson? I get the numbers. I get the number that he wants. It's probably not the number that Cincinnati wants to agree on. I get that they let him hit the market, or they tried to trade him, and whatever they was asking for, people was like, Trey Hendrickson? Nah. Do you consider Trey Hendrickson? The numbers gonna say he's the top 5 pass rusher, granted. But do you consider him in the same breath as a Myles Garrett? You know, as a Bosa. You know,
not tier 1. No, I consider him a tier 2, which is right below those guys. Yes, but he did have really good back-to-back years, and I will say he needs to be paid more than he's getting paid now. But it's like the Bengals are trying to have their cake and eat it too. And this is what we've seen from the Bengals, Ben. They want to, well, okay, this is essentially what they're saying. Trey, you're turning 30, and I know you just are 31. I know you have these back-to-back seasons, 29 years old, 30 years old. But we don't want to see you go down that decline while we give you.
Okay. And here's the thing. Myles Garrett got his money, right? You know, Myles Garrett is considered to be the premier pass rusher.
Yep.
I'm going to give you a name, and you tell me if Trey Hendrickson is either equivalent to this player or not in his class. I'm going to give you 5 guys.
Okay.
Number 1, Myles Garrett.
No.
TJ Watt.
No.
Micah Parsons.
No.
Nick Bosa.
No, probably no.
And obviously Mr. Ivy, Captain Ivy, Max Crosby.
No.
And so here's and they got Danielle Hunter out of the Texans, and he had double-digit sacks, which I would say Trey Hendrickson and him are very similar.
I would say they're similar. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, right? You see how when I give you a name, you go, you don't got to think, nope. Myles Garrett, no. And this is the thing, right? The average person, would they know Myles Garrett? Yeah. Would they know TJ Watt? Yeah. Would they know Micah Parsons? Yeah. Would they know Nick Bosa? Yeah. Would they know Trey Hendrickson? No. And I'm not saying that shouldn't be the reason why you don't get his money, but that kind of stuff matters on it. That kind of stuff. It's like Max Crosby, just to give people, just so people understand certain things. Hold on, because I don't want people to get things misconstrued. Max Crosby has never been a first-team All-Pro. He's been a second-team All-Pro in 2021 and 2023. He's been a 4-time Pro Bowl in 2021 and 2024. Now, Max Crosby has been in the league since 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. He's going to get 7. He got 59.5 sacks. But here's the thing about Max Crosby. He is a disruptor. He will disrupt a game plan. Micah Parsons, disrupt a game plan. Nick Bosa can disrupt a game plan. TJ Watt can disrupt a game plan. Myles Garrett can disrupt a game plan. Trey Hendrickson, he played for the Bengals. And unfortunately, Smitty, and no one's saying this when I'm going to say it, well, I've been saying it, Cincinnati wants Trey Hendrickson to get big money, but not Myles Garrett money. TJ Watt,
they want to pay him, but they don't want to see him go off a cliff after paying him too much.
Well, TJ Watt right now is in a holdout. It's like this.
The Steelers are going to take care of that.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like when you say a word twice. He wants his money, and they see he wants money. Oh yeah, he want to get paid. Mm-hmm. And the thing about Myles Garrett, no matter what Myles Garrett got, which he broke the bank, no one said, okay, what's Myles Garrett? When Max Crosby got what he got, no one said, oh, because it's Max Crosby, right? Micah Parsons, only reason why he ain't got his money because he played for Dallas.
That's because
if Micah Parsons had done what Trey Hendrickson had done with the Bengals and they switched teams, oh my God, I wouldn't want to know.
Well, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think the Bengals want to reshape the market with Trey Hendrickson. I don't think they want to do it. I really don't. And like I said, which I know we'll get to the Shamar Stewart. The Bengals are weird from this standpoint. We knew they had to pay Jamar Chase. He was a Triple Crown. T. Higgins essentially got a 1-year deal. Like all that money, he essentially got a
1-year deal. And then previously paid Joe Burrow.
And they're gonna pay Joe Burrow. That Joe Burrow had, Joe Burrow.
Oh, they already paid it. They already paid him.
Yeah, they already paid him.
I'm saying that was the highest they've ever paid anybody in their franchise was Joe Burrow.
And that was one of the easiest. If they was gonna, go against what they've ever done, it's gonna be easy to do it with a guy that took you to the Super Bowl, right? Trey Hendrickson was on a very, 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 very lackluster defense, middle of the road, if there was even that. And while he's getting sacks, is it because, and I mean this respectfully, is it because the games are over and he's just out on the field still playing hard, getting sacks? Because 17.5 is 17.5. I'm not 35 sacks is 35 sacks in 2 years. I am not taking nothing away from that. Trey Hendrickson is the most unheralded, unappreciated, normal 35 sack guy in 2 years you ever seen. And I didn't think that I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think a guy with that type of production, because if you are Trey, you think, dude, is there something wrong with me? No. Is there something wrong with the Bengals? Yeah. Is there something wrong with the Bengals front office? Absolutely. You think I'm going to get Myles Garrett money? No. You think I'm going to get TJ Watt money? Maybe. You think I'm going to get Michael Parsons money? Absolutely not. So I think the thing is now, Smitty, you're going to have to give him something, right? But he's got to agree to it. How much of that is going to be guaranteed? And here's what no one was talking about. If he goes out and does it again, leads the league in sacks for 3 years, and I don't know. The Bengals are one of the weirdest organizations you're going to have in pro sports, football, or any other. And like I said, I thought that it was a slam dunk with Trey Hendrickson, but I think what hurt Trey Hendrickson the most is when they tried to trade. They tried to get, and people were like, no. I mean, we were talking about him with the Falcons, and we were talking about him with Carolina. I mean, he's a good addition, but I don't know if he's a highly productive player on a very, very subpar team in defense, or is he a really, 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 really good player, but he's not a great player. Like he got great numbers, but he's not a great. I don't know. It's the weirdest. It's almost like Smitty. The longer he's out there and not getting his money, it's shaping the perception of him. Yeah, because that's all we really got in sports. Right. It's the weirdest thing ever.
And if it was any other team, I don't think we would shake a leaf at it. But it's the Bengals. They've had this sort of. Okay, so let's get into it. That was first things first. We took a lot of time to do that, but a lot of good topics in there. But let's get into Shamar Stewart, and then we're going to get into some of our lists for you guys to close out the show. Ben and I are going to start doing some lists as we get into the dog days of summer here, as these 5 weeks before training camp is going to be. We're going to hopefully have some guests on as well. But we're going to do some lists to kind of keep you guys entertained with our our opinions, and you can certainly agree or disagree. But lists are always fun to do. But first, let's talk about Shamar Stewart a little bit more. So Tom Pelissero went on the Rich Eisen show, and he essentially said that Shamar Stewart wants a contract that Armarius Mims, that was their first rounder last year, got, where there is no default clause that can void his future guaranteed money. He wants what is normal for a rookie deal. The waiver, and so that was part of what Tom Pelissero said on the Rich Eisen show. But essentially what he's saying there is Armarius Mims got that last year, the first-round rookie for the Bengals last year. Now, the Bengals are trying to do something different this year with Shamar Stewart. And Shamar Stewart is saying, no, I want what every other first-rounder got, where there's no default clause. Now, Ben, this is perfectly where I'm going to let you speak here, because you played in the league. Tom Pelissero essentially said that while the contracts are the same, there are languages that each team has that make certain teams different to deal with in certain aspects. Some teams pay 70% of the bonuses up front and they withhold 30% until after the season. Some people pay everything up front. Some people, so different teams deal with bonuses and incentives and guarantees differently. So as a former player, I'll ask two questions to you, and then you can just kind of go into this. One, is Shamar Stewart getting bad advice from his agent, and why is he not allowing his agent to speak for him? Why is he coming out and saying the Bengals just want to win arguments? Because that's just, while that's true, it looks bad on the player's perspective. And then that's part one. And part two, can you explain to our listeners, people who obviously, like myself, who didn't play in the league, when someone like Tom Pelissero says he wants no default clause that can void his guarantee, what is that really saying?
Well, number one, to the first part of your question, no, I don't think he's getting bad advice from his agent. I think that's the type of things his agent is telling him. And when he said they want to win arguments, and not games, he's not lying. They ain't even got Trey Hendrickson in there. It'll be different next time Trey, and he's on. No. Their two top pass rushers are not under contract. Uh-huh. Both of them. Now, the default is the language in the contract. Basically, Shamar Stewart is saying, y'all not going to use me as a guinea pig. No.
Correct.
All I got is my guaranteed money. And basically what y'all trying to do is, it sounds like y'all trying to punish me because I haven't signed. What type of clause in the contract means if I get hurt or something, you don't got to give me the rest of my bonus? Are you? No. The reason why you have a rookie pay scale is so these contracts get done earlier, so that all your rookies from first round to seventh round will be in camp by training camp. Shamar Stewart is smart because Shamar Stewart understands this. Dude, I could be setting the stage of future draft picks for the Cincinnati Bengals. They'll be like, well, we gave Shamar Shamar said, why didn't you do that in 2024 or 2023 or 22? Why didn't you do that with Joe Burrow when you got him for? Why didn't you do that with Jamar Chase? No. And Shamar Stewart is in the right, people. See, for all these people that say, oh, that's what's wrong with
and just to clarify, this hasn't been done before by the Bengals specifically, but other teams around the league have done it. So perhaps his issue is the Bengals trying it themselves and trying to get him to be the first one. That right, like you said.
Let me say this. To those players that actually signed those contracts for other teams, you did yourself a disservice because all you've done is gave all the power back to these organizations, right? The goal is to get as much money and memories as you possibly can to try to become the best player you can individually and collectively for your team. But Shamar Stewart is saying, how y'all trying to get over on me? And I just got here. And here's the thought, right? Did you do this with your second round picks? What about your third and your fourth? You ain't doing it with me. I'm not doing it. Let me tell you what happens, though. When people get to saying that do these organizations stick together? Yes. Do these GMs or owners stick together? Yes. And they get to calling each other saying, yeah, man, we signed me to this. I'm not doing. Shamar's like, no. I'm not doing. And I respect it so much. I remember when Shamar Stewart was sitting there at the facility, they talking to him. He said, look, man, I want to be here. I mean, I try to stay as sharp as I can. I'm in the meeting room. I'm working out. I'm trying to stay in shape. They're supposed to be the ones who understand this process better than me. Why they playing around? Do you think my agent is doing his job, his or her job? They let me agree to a contract like this? Do you think my agent want that on his or her resume saying these are the type of contracts I get I talk my clients into signing? No, the goal is to get as much money as I possibly can, which is much guaranteed money as I possibly can. No voids in the contract, no voids in the language, no injury stuff. Dante Fowler Jr., when he got drafted, the first overall pick in the draft was Jameis Winston. The second overall pick was Marcus Mariota. He went number 3 overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. In a minicamp, he was going for a pass rush. He tore his ACL. He walked in and signed his fully guaranteed contract. No voids in it, right? No voids in it. No injury clauses in it. Jamar Stewart is a first-round pick. I want to get what a first-round pick gets. I want to get a fully guaranteed contract like a first-round pick gets. I'm not doing no language on that. Why would look? I am not loyal to the Bengals. I got drafted by them. I'm loyal to the Stewarts, to his wife if he got one, to his kids if he got one, to his family. So I respect what Shamar is doing. The Bengals are making themselves look bad because you can't even sign your back-to-back first-team All-Pro pass rusher. Your other pass rusher just, like I said, he retired. Your starting middle linebacker and leading tackler, he got released, and now you can't even sign your first-round rookie. So, hey man,
I'll keep going.
Do all this,
and I'll keep going. Actually, before I say that, explain to our listeners, people who may not know what this means. The Bengals and the Brown family specifically, and they're not the only ones. There are owners that, when people say there are cash poor owners, the Browns being one of them. The Bengals, Mike Brown being one of them. What does that mean for those who may not be familiar? Because there are certain teams that the cash on the Eagles is not the same as the cash flow on the Bengals, for instance. So, what can you explain to people what for some owners, if they say they're cash poor, what does that really
mean? Well, what it means is not that it's this. If I had to give my take on it, it's not that they don't have the money.
Correct.
They're not. Either they're not generating the type of money that the Bengals want to generate, or they're very, 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 very frugal, aka stingy, with their money. Meaning,
and some of it, I think, has to go into escrow when you pay. And owners can't do that.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you what it really means. These owners really, really think that these players and their agents are stupid. Dude, I'm not finna take no player for. I just got here. I'm not taking. That's why you hear that language, Smitty, when they talk about this default. See, the defaults make it so that if a player doesn't pan out, we get to withhold this money. Oh yeah. They hold it. That money they're supposed to give you, they get to hold that. And I think the thing about the Bengals is this. Once again, people gonna say, but they paid Joe Burrow. They had to. Joe Burrow literally forced their hand. Former number 1 overall pick, already been to a Super Bowl. That was an easy sell. If you really want to know how the Bengals really think, Jamar Chase wanted a contract before the 2024 season, and they said no. They said, make us pay you. All right, go out there with a triple crown. T. Higgins wanted a contract before the 2023 season. They said no, force our hand. So it looks like Now they paid Jamar Chase. Make no mistake about it. They had to. He's a triple crown. They forced his hand. Jamar Chase was the 5th overall pick, so he was the top 5 pick. T. Higgins, I think, was a 2nd round pick.
Correct.
T. Higgins essentially got a 1-year deal. If T. Higgins is a Cincinnati Bengal in 2026, I'm in the wrong profession. He will not be a Bengal past this year, which means their best window to win. Oh, I'm sorry. Their best window to be productive, they're not going to win. I'm tripping with that. Cash poor means I'm going to pay the players that's going to force our hand. The other players, I'm going to do a little rabbit in the hat, little switcheroo with T. Higgins and make it look like something it's not. Because if you really want to know, they don't want to pay their pass rusher that just went back-to-back 17.5 sack seasons, and they don't want to pay their pass rusher. Because here's the thing, Smitty, and I'm going to tell you this. If Shamar Stewart would have signed, I don't think they're gonna sign Trey Hendrickson. Neither one of them have. Shamar is messing up stuff with Trey. Because it's like, dude, if we had Shamar, we could tell Trey, hey man, we're gonna try to trade you again before the season starts. It's weird. It's weird, but I've heard a lot of things about the Bengals, and it seems to be true because they say they're a hard organization to negotiate with. They're very, 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 very stuck on a certain number. And in their mind, let me tell you something, people, fair ain't fair to everybody. What you think is fair if you are Cincinnati does not sound fair to the Stewarts or to the Stewarts and the Hendricksons. They don't like the Bengals way of doing things at this point.
Yeah, and I'll close it out by just to give some of the listeners some education. So essentially, to close it out, the central part of the issue between the Bengals and the Stewart essentially lives in the guaranteed money that Stewart should default on the contract. Some version of default language exists in every first-round contract, which is common among NFL teams. But the Bengals generally structure guarantees differently than the majority of the rest of the league. So that matters in terms of comparing their language to how other teams are using it. And then in the case of Shamar Stewart and the rest of the first round picks, apparently he refused to sign his practice waiver. And so essentially the practice waiver protects them against any injury, but Stewart still did not sign his and instead chose to sit out.
Shamar Stewart, people. Shamar Stewart is a businessman. Shamar Stewart says, so let me get this straight. Y'all don't want to pay me, but you want me to practice. And you want me to sign a practice waiver. Because of the practice waiver, let me tell you, when people say it protects Shamar, it also protects the Bengals. Now, I give the Bengals a lot of credit. They thought they were smarter than Shamar. Shamar said, no, man, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. And even if I don't fully understand the business, I know I don't practice or play until I sign on the dotted line. And guess what? Y'all gonna be here in 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029.
Right. And the Bengals are essentially just asking him to sign the waiver and practice if he really wants to get on the field. That's really what they're saying.
Let me tell you what that sounds. Let me tell you what that's really saying, Smitty. So you got to read between the lines. No, the Bengals are saying, you really want to play football? Man, sign the practice waiver. No, I said, do you really want me to play football? Yeah, give me my contract. Why you got me signing practice waiver just to practice? Because guess what? You know how long they can string this thing along if he signed that practice waiver, he out there practicing. Man, Shamar Stewart is doing it. Listen, this is a masterclass, people. I know people, it's a masterclass because you're trying to bully the bully. Cincinnati has been known to do these type of things, like little crazy, little thickly type stuff. And I guarantee you, Shamar Stewart's agent probably represented people before they played for the Bengals. They probably told him. And Shamar probably said, look, man, no funny business. Smitty, I don't care where you work at. Smitty, I don't care what the job is. Smitty, if you read the contract and you get to a point that says, hey, man, why this guy waiver on here? Oh, man, it just protects you. But it also said it protects y'all. Yeah. What is this? What does default language mean? Oh, that just means, man, like if something happens, you might not get some of your guaranteed money. Wait. But doesn't the word guaranteed mean guaranteed? Well, let me tell y'all what's crazy about those words. If it's guaranteed, it has stipulations on it.
Yep.
Fully guaranteed is fully guaranteed.
Correct.
It gets a little tricky because guaranteed in the normal world is guaranteed. Like, hey man, you get your money back guaranteed. Gotcha.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson got one of those contracts fully guaranteed.
Yeah. So Shamar is saying, I want fully guaranteed. I respect this young man so much. Number one, he's answering questions. He's not being disrespectful. He's being professional about it. And when he said they want to win arguments more than want to win games, ask Trey Hendrickson what they want to win. I'm telling you, there's a reason why Sam Hubbard got up out of there. We'll never know why, but there's a reason why he just up and retired after 8 seasons. Hey, man, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling of management versus players chipping away at the culture in an effort to win an argument. Really the last 12 months with the Bengals, this has only amplified it. Obviously, Shamar Stewart just was saying the quiet part out loud at the end of the day with this. So, quickly, do you think Joe Burrow's already said this is a distraction. And now he just resigned. He's not going anywhere. But do you think in like a year, maybe 2, Burrow might try to just get up out of there, kind of like what Carson Palmer did back in the day? Like, if something happens.
It'll be Carson Palmer 3.0, 4.0. No, Joe Burrow would have to do something catastrophic like retire from football and then come back. No, he gonna be there a while. It's a bad look because Joe Burrow got to answer questions about it. I mean, he got to be a pro about it. But if you are Joe Burrow, you saying, dude, just give him his freaking, give him his freaking money. It's the whole goal of having Sam Bradford is the reason why, former Oklahoma quarterback, is the reason why you have a rookie salary cap now because of how much money he got. And it's to prevent. So you would think it should be standard. I'm this position. I got drafted in right here. I can go back to last year. It's slotted. I'm supposed to get a couple of dollars more than my pick in 2024. Oh, I'm dealing with the Bengals. Default language. Practice waivers. Man, stop the nonsense, man. Shamar Stewart is like, stop playing with me. I'm not doing it. I'm not going for it. And I'm not finna put all this effort into holding. I'm not holding out because I'm trying to make a statement. I'm holding out because y'all playing. That's why I'm holding out. It ain't for no other reason. Guess what? I will practice and play if you get my contract. I ain't never heard practice waivers. Practice waivers sound like something like somebody trying to make the team and they coming out the street. They say, man, sign this practice waiver just in case you get hurt. You can't sue us. That's what that sounds like. I could be wrong. I haven't read it, but that sounds crazy.
All right, well, let's go ahead and end the show with a few lists. I didn't prep you for this. I wanted to give you kind of off the cuff here, and we can go into it. So I've got 2 lists for you, Ben, and we can go into it. Now I'll give you the team so that way you can be prepared here. Let's rank now. It's so easy to do, and we're going to go division previews come July and August. We're going to get those for you guys. But I want to do one that, some people probably have done it before. But here are the 8 teams that could go from worst to first in their division. And I am going to rank 1 through 8, the most likely and the least likely. So let me give you the 8 teams that are in this scenario. We've got the New York Giants, the San Francisco 49ers, the Chicago Bears, the Tennessee Titans, the New England Patriots, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Cleveland Browns. Is that 8?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7. So when like the Saints or
Saints? Yes, Saints. That's it. All right, I can't believe I forgot the South. There you go. All right. So I'm gonna rank my order of least likely. I'll start at the bottom. Least likely to go from worst to first, and I'll go up to number 1. So least likely, I'm gonna say the Cleveland Browns. I almost ranked the Saints here, but I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, there is so much dysfunction in that franchise. And with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow in the same division, and then Pittsburgh, even with the 41-year-old Rodgers, I still think they'll beat him. There's just so much dysfunction in the Cleveland Browns franchise. Like Kevin Stefanski as a coach, he'll be hired in a second if he was fired by Cleveland. But there's just no way Cleveland is going to even if they finish third, that's the best I can see them finishing this year in that division. Number 7, New Orleans Saints. My Panthers, your Falcons, even if we stumble this year a little bit and the Bucs still reign supreme, I just can't see it. The Saints are not going anywhere fast. That defense is getting older by the day, and I cannot see a world in which they finish first in the NFC South. No way. Number 6, the Las Vegas Raiders. They are a team that is a good story with Pete Carroll trying to revive another culture. You think of Josh McDaniels. You think of Rich Bisaccia, John Gruden. I mean, they've had Antonio Pierce. They've had so much dysfunction there. I think Pete Carroll is going to they're definitely better with Ashton Ginty, with Geno Smith. They are definitely better. But worst to first, no, that's not happening. Number 5, the New York Football Giants. This one, and the reason I put the Giants 5th is because, again, someone had to be 8, 7, and 6. But it's the Giants I feel about the same way as I feel as the 6, 7, and 8. No way this is happening. Jaden Daniels, even if he has a sophomore slump, the Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Yeah, and Dallas is Dallas, but no way this is happening. All right, top 4. Number 4, the New England Patriots. I think Vrabel is going to have them much improved, but Buffalo is not giving up their seat at that table. No way. Yes, I think they'll play them closer this year. I think the Miami Dolphins have a chance of finishing last in that division, or the Jets. But the Patriots could sneak into second place in this division, third place more than likely. So, no, Bills still reign supreme in this division. Number 3, the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, if things break right for them in Caleb Williams' second year and Ben Johnson's first year as a head coach, this could happen. But Detroit is out for blood after getting embarrassed by the Commanders in the championship game, or not the championship game, the divisional round rather. And the Packers very well could sneak up on everyone and win in this division. The Vikings, we don't know what they have, but I still think they have a shot if J.J. McCarthy pans out. This is kind of his rookie year. All right, top 2 is both the Niners and the Titans. I've got the Titans at number 2 and the San Francisco 49ers at number 1. The Titans, there is a world with C.J. Stroud's shoulder, with Andrew Richardson's shoulder, with Jacksonville when Trevor Lawrence kind of with his uneasiness there. There's a world that Cam Ward can take the Titans to the top. There's a way. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's a way. If things break right with some shoulders and the other quarterbacks in that division, Cam Ward has a Jaden Daniels type rookie year, it could happen. And then number 1 is the San Francisco 49ers. I think they're going to be favored in every single game that they play this season, including against my Carolina Panthers. Yes, that was satire. People, satire. And they're now. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think the Rams are going to win this division, but easily, I think they have the best chance of all these 8 teams going from worst to first. Easily. I think the Niners could win this division, though. Very well could win it, since their schedule is so easy.
I mean, I like your list. I mean, I like it. I mean, mine is slightly a little different. I mean, I'm gonna go from worst to first as well. My number 8. I mean, I know you had the Browns. I got the Giants. The Giants. Whew. The Giants are gonna be bad. I mean, they're going to be bad. Not just from that division. Coach Brian DeBoer. I just don't know if I don't know if he's a bad coach, but I know he's not a good one. He's kind of middle of the road. I mean, Russell Wilson, I mean, he's going to be the starter, you know. I mean, I know they got Jameis Winston. I guess they got a first-round pick. I guess, you know, I mean, we'll see what happens with that, you know. But I just think the Giants are going to be really, really bad. My number 7 is the Browns. I think the Browns can be competitive, but they're not going to win anything. You know, they could be competitive. They were competitive with, I mean, they got Denzel Ward at cornerback. I mean, they got Myles Garrett, you know what I'm saying? They got a pretty good receiving core with Jerry Jeudy and company, but it's the Browns. I put the Saints at number 6. They could have easily been my number 8, but the fact that, what they signed Cam Akers, okay, who's going to be your quarterback, your defense? I mean, I ain't going to call them old. I'm going to call them seasoned. They've been around a long time. I just think the Saints are going to be bad. My number 5, I got the Raiders. I like Ashton Jeanty. I like Geno. I like Brock Bowers. I like Max Crosby. You know, I like Pete Carroll. I don't like Chip Kelly. I don't understand what people see in these. Chip Kelly used to be the head coach of the Eagles. He had Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy. I mean, players everywhere. Dysfunctional. I don't believe in the Raiders. This could have either been my number 5 or number 4. I think it's the Titans. Cam Ward is gonna be very exciting, Smitty. He gonna keep you in a lot of games. Here's the problem with Cam Ward. You're gonna have to live with some gigantic mistakes. He gonna do some not Will Levis type mistakes now. Not good God, you can't even watch that stuff. But Cam Ward is gonna throw in the windows that they just not there. And you don't have the number 1 team, the number 1 pick in the draft for no reason. I mean, they were bad last year, and it was a collective thing, not just the quarterback position. But I do got number 4 because of the AFC South. I know it's Houston to lose, Jacksonville, and you know we'll see what happened in Indy. But I got number 4. My number 3, It's your number 3. I think it's the Bears. Now, I want to see, Coach Ben Johnson. I really, really do. Caleb Williams not going to be on Hard Knocks, thank God. He's not slipping and sliding and all the crazy stuff. I think with the, new center, new guard, new tight end, right? Same weapons on the outside, added some pieces on defense, I just think that for me, I think they got a shot because of that division, even though Detroit is still the class, and I think Green Bay going to be tough, Minnesota going to be tough. My number 2 is the Patriots. Here's why. Mike Vrabel is going to put a lot of pressure on Buffalo. A lot of pressure. I think they can beat the Jets. And, if Miami got to go up there when it's cold, I think they could beat. I think the Patriots go 1-1 against them. They got a shot. They're not gonna win because of Buffalo, Smitty, but they're gonna be competitive. They spent a lot of money in the offseason. And my number 1 is Captain Obvious. The 49ers. As you mentioned, they're gonna be favored in every game. I think they got the easiest schedule in football. Wow. Kyle Shanahan. You know what I'm saying? John Lynch, congratulations. Easiest schedule. Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy, can he beat the Seahawks? Yeah. Can he beat Arizona? Probably. And can he beat the Rams? We'll see. But yeah, 49ers, Patriots, Bears, Titans, Raiders, Saints, Browns, and the G-Men in New Jersey. New York. So yeah, that's my list.
Awesome. All right, I've got one more for you. This one's going to be simple and to the point, and I've thought about this a lot. And I know we're in a different here, so I'm getting ready to buckle my invisible seatbelt, as JC Horn likes to say. Buckle the seatbelt. Top 5 quarterbacks under pressure in 2025, and I don't mean from an offensive line standpoint. I mean having a critical season, an important season for them in 2025. Now, Ben, you can take this however you want. Pressure to win a Super Bowl, pressure that they would be on another team if they might get cut or traded or released, whatever you want to call it, your version of under pressure. All right. My top 5. Number 5. Tua Tagovailoa down there in Miami. He is number 5 on my list. Pretty simple. Injuries have gotten the best of Tua lately, and if he wants to stay on the Dolphins and even into the NFL, he's got to have a really good year this year and just stay healthy is number 1. And then number 2, can he put up some good numbers and win a playoff game for the Miami Dolphins? They get to the playoffs. At least that's what they've shown that they can do it. But can they win games in the playoffs? Tua Tagovailoa is number 5 on this list. Number 4 on this list, J.J. McCarthy. It's his rookie season essentially this year. And I know this might be low for some people, but J.J. McCarthy plays in the NFC North. So you got Jared Goff, you got Jordan Love, Caleb Williams coming into his own with Ben Johnson. So it's not going to be easy for J.J. McCarthy, but he's got Jetta, J2. Not a lot of people have that guy on their team, a version like him. And so can J.J. McCarthy take a stacked roster that is the Minnesota Vikings and take them back to the playoffs in year number 1 of him physically being on the field? All right, Ben, this is where I'm probably going to differ from you a lot. My top 3 is a little crazy for some people, I imagine, but here we go. Number 3, Justin Herbert out in L.A. Jim Harbaugh loves Justin Herbert, but do you know who signed there, Ben, this offseason? That would be one Trey Lance. Now, I'm not coming on here to say that Justin Herbert is going to lose his job to Trey Lance. That's not what I'm saying, people. But Justin Herbert has got to play into the playoffs, and he's got to start winning some ball games. He's got some stats. He's got a beautiful ball. He's got a lot to his name. But he's got to start producing when it matters. He has been in the league now, I think this is year, 5 or 6 now. He's got to start producing and getting the Chargers a little bit more meat on that bone, if you will. All right, top 2. You know where I'm going with this, Ben. I've said these 2 guys for a while. and I flip flop back and forth on who I'm going to say number one versus number two. Number two is Kyler Murray. This could be his last year in Arizona. There is a lot riding on this season for Arizona and Kyler Murray. They finally have a defense in which they can be respectable. Kyler Murray's got some weapons on offense. Trey McBride, highest tight end in the NFL now. Marvin Harrison Jr. in year number two. James Conner in that backfield. Kyler Murray's got to lead this team to the playoffs, make some noise in the NFC West. I don't think they're going to do it, but I think they can be spicy, and they can very well make it a tough out for teams this year. And then my number one is Trevor Lawrence. He has Travis Hunter now. He has Brian Thomas Jr., who is an all-world receiver. He shows as a rookie. He's got Travis Etienne, rather, at running back. He's got Tank Bisbee. He's got Evan. Oh, he did have Evan Ingram. So, but he's got Liam Cohen, who led Baker Mayfield and the Bucs to division title last year, and someone whose offense fits him to a T. Trevor Lawrence is my most under pressure quarterback to deliver in 2025. Give me those five. Tua, Herbert. As I'm now blanking on what I just did. Who was my other one?
You said Herbert. Who did you say?
I'm now blanking. Why am I blanking? Murray and anyway.
I know Murray and Lawrence was 1 and 2. You had
why am I blanking?
You had Herbert. You had Tua at 5. Herbert. You had 2 at 5. Two.
Oh, McCarthy.
Herbert 4.
McCarthy was 4. Herbert was 3.
McCarthy, yeah.
McCarthy. Okay, so yes, 2 of 5. Right. McCarthy 4. Herbert 3. Murray 2. Lawrence 1.
My number 5 is Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, the first 2 years in the National Football League, the first year he got hurt, the second year he got tired. You don't know what you have with him. Year 3 is a year you're supposed to make the biggest leap. You don't even know. The 2 things he hasn't done: 1, been a consistent passer; 2, played in 17 games. He's done neither one. I think he's under a lot of pressure because Daniel Jones is there not just to be the starter, but to be the official potential face of the coach. And they got a new owner, so she want to see some new results. My number 4 is your number 4. It is Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is a 6'6", long hair, looks like a model, right? Can throw it 60 yards.
And smart guy too. Bionic chemistry.
Yes. Can't beat nobody of significance. Can't beat Kansas City. Can't beat Joe Burrow. Can't beat Lamar Jackson. Right? Can't beat Josh Allen, and the list goes on and on. Sizzle, no steak. Justin Herbert is under a lot of pressure, and he gets to start out week 1. Overseas against Kansas City. My number 3 is Josh Allen. Josh Allen won the MVP. I do not think he was the MVP, but he won it. They said, Smitty, we can win with anybody as long as we got Josh. Josh coming off MVP season. He just got married. Congratulations. Haven't seen your wife in the movie Sinners. I heard she did great. I got to check it out. But the hype is over, Smitty. We've seen it. The hype is gone. What are the results? And I'm talking about winning the AFC Championship game, representing the AFC, going to a Super Bowl. We've seen it. Run game, you got to get your running back under contract. You saying you don't need, you had Amari Cooper last year, didn't really matter because you spread the ball around. I think it's Josh Allen. Number 2 is obvious. Lamar. Listen to me, Lamar. Listen. 2-time regular season MVP, 2-time first team All-Pro. Probably should be a 3-time MVP because I think you're a 3-time first team All-Pro. No one cares about your regular season anymore because we know you're going to dominate. You're going to do some things we haven't seen. Look like the best player in the world. Certain point, take nothing away from Patrick Mahomes. I think he has 2 career playoff wins. Since he's been in the league, he got 2 career playoff wins. That's his playoff resume. First, he had to get past the Titans. Finally, was able to get over the hump with the Titans. Right? Able to have a big playoff win last year just to come up short. And I know Mark Andrews. I know you feel awful. It would have just the 2-point conversion, but you got to win those games. And my number 1 is your number 1. The most intriguing player in football that no one's talking about is Trevor Lawrence. Is Trevor Lawrence a bad football player or just a bad quarterback? And people say, are they the same thing? No, not really. I don't think they're the same thing. Trevor Lawrence has shown brilliance, and he's shown some craziness. So for me, I want to see it, Smitty. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Anthony Richardson. That is my top 5.
That is one top 5 and one top 8 list for you guys as we are wrapping up episode 47. We will be back with episode 48 with you next week. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on TobaccoRoadSportsRadio.com is the YouTube page. You've got Keep Pounding Podcast Network, where you're powered by Fans First Sports Network, where you can view the audio version anywhere you get your podcast. For Ben Troupe, I am Ryan Smith. This is Winning the Division, episode 47, where, remember, you are either in the division or you are winning the division. We'll see you guys next time.